Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Okay. So, നിങ്ങളുടെ റെമഡിയൽ മെഷേഴ്സ് ആൻഡ് എവറിത്തിങ് മസ്റ്റ് ബി സബ്മിറ്റഡ്. ഡേറ്റ് കഴിഞ്ഞു. Okay, and I will wait till today noon. And as well as about the assignment also the same. You have to submit the assignments on or before 1 p.m. today itself. Okay. After that, I will make it to restriction. So no one will be allowed to submit it after that particular time. So be punctual about that. Okay. Okay. Shall we start? So in the last class, we were discussing about the sustainable or urbanization, right? So, and we were discussing about some factors which are attracting towards the urban areas, as well as some will be there will be so many reasons by which they will be leaving the rural areas and they will be migrated to the urban areas. So for that, we discuss about the factors which are affecting that particular migration, and there was one was the negative factors as well as the positive factors, and we discuss it about that the same, the push factors and the pull factors. Okay, in which the push factors are the negative reasons and the factors are the positive. Okay, so we were discussing in the nutshell. Okay, and after that we discussed about the factors which are influencing this particular migration. Okay, so at the all these points were given by you itself, except this particular 4 points. Everything was from your side. Okay, so just keep in mind that it is very important portions. Okay, so next up we are having a discussion about the evolution of the concept of urban sustainability. That is nothing but like if there is an area or an existing area or existing urban area. Okay, so how can we change that particular area into a sustainable one? Okay, so for that the basic we are going to discuss about the basic four pillars of the this particular concept. Okay, the first one is the economic development, and the second one is the social development, and the third one is the environmental management, and fourth one is the effective urban governance. Okay, so this all these factors you already know it. Okay, we were discussing everything about the economical development as well as the social one and environment management. This effect of urban governance means it is nothing but about the good government as well as the tensions. in that particular areas, like if it will be like pave the way for a civil war or the like that, so tension. So we have to control all these factors in order to attain that sustainability. Okay, so these were the main pillars. So we don't need to discuss this more. Already you know all these points, and the just matter of thing is that you can just elaborate the same. So today we are going to discuss about the uh, sustainable city. Okay, sustainable cities. We are going to explain this particular topic today. Before that, um, you can just take a screenshot of this. If done, just tell me. Yeah.
So,
Okay. So these are the factors what I told how to. So here you have to understand while writing, you can incorporate all these terms. Okay, like the world urban area occupies. So you have to understand that occupies like the total land area of the earth. Okay, so by that the only 2%. Okay, only 2% of the earth land is occupied by the urban areas like cities, town, and etc. But still, 60 to 80 percentage of the global energy consumption is also done, also taken place in this particular 2% of land itself, as well as 70 percentage of the global carbon emissions. So, why we are considering this particular sustainable urbanization ways? The first thing is you have to write this thing, like the urban area occupied only 2% of the total area, but still 60 to 80 percentage of the global energy consumption is done by that particular 2% or the urban areas. Like there will be towns and everything, there will be so many development, and there will be so many industries and many other firms, whatever it may. You already know there will be so many industries and so many, right, so many sectors will be there, through which the 60 to 80 percentage of the energy consumption is, or the energy is taken to this particular 2% of the land, like 2% of the land. Okay, and 70% of the global emission. Okay, so the high degree of complex social and environmental development existing in the urban area makes it necessary to transfer it towards the sustainable path. So, as we all discussed in the previous classes, we all are getting attracted. Like there will be so many factors like job or the free and like good environment, and as well as a nice lifestyle, and so many factors, the good health, good accommodation facilities, and there will be so many factors like that. So actually we are dragging out, or we are attracted to that particular area. Okay, so as a result we have to start this particular sustainability, or the idea of this particular sustainability, or how we can make a bridge between the human activity and the environment. Okay, how we can live harmony with the environment. So for that there are so many factors, or there are so many pillars for that. Okay, so the following principles have been practiced to develop an integrated strategy for making existing urban areas. Okay, so nowadays we are just getting into this particular urban areas for the factors we already discussed. Okay, so how? So like in a particular urban area, if all the population increases, then the needs of resources also increases, and so many emission takes place, the energy consumption takes place, everything will be taken place. So then why getting that into a sustainable or sustainability? We can reduce the emission, we can reduce the input of resources, we can reduce the energy consumption, and everything. Okay, so how we can develop or how we can achieve that particular sustainable development. Okay, so the main objective of this particular thing is the minimization of material input, as we all discussed. As the population increases, okay, in a particular area, as the population or the density or population density is more in that particular area, then it will be paved the way for the usage of more and more resources. Okay, so the first one we have to think is to decrease the material input or the input resources, okay, which entered into the production and consumption in urban area. Okay, so like that, if we are taking in the case of a water reserve, okay, so in the case we are taking the water reserve resources. So here there will be so many apartments and so many industries by which the water will be utilized. Okay, so here first of all we have to reduce the usage of water. That means we have to cut down the factors which are wasting the water. Okay, then next one that we can treat the water. Okay, that means the water will be few of the sometimes the water will be little polluted. Okay, that is നമ്മളിപ്പോ for example in the sewage or sewage or the sewage, okay, we can take that. Okay, so if you are giving a treatment to the sewage water or the less polluted water, we can use it for the gardening of the particular town and area and everything. Okay, simply we can say in the case of waters. Okay, likewise we have to decrease the input resources. Okay, then what, the maximization of the percentage of reused and recycled material in the urban areas. Okay, we already know it, right? We were discussing all throughout this chapter that like recycling of the plastic material or reusing by repairing it or so many factors we already discussed it. Okay, and the third point is the minimization of pollution and the waste discharge from the urban area to the nature. Okay, so we can control that particular disposal by which we can escape from this particular pollution. Okay, can you hear? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So these were the main aim for our particular how we can change a urban area into a sustainable one. Okay, so next the same thing we are going to explain this thing also. That means the sum of the measures to be practiced for making the existing urban area into a sustainable. Okay, you can hear, right? If anyone is giving any message or not, I can hear some pop-up message like pop-up tools. Any problem?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. So, so how we can attain the sustainable urbanization? Okay, so the industry should switch into the clean and renewable energy as possible, thus managing the existing resources in more efficient manner. Okay, so instead of using this particular electricity, we can run that particular, or we can add so many solar panels or solar arrays through which we can use that particular renewable energy. Okay, and nowadays you all know that so many MNCs are taking some oath like that in 2025 or 2030 we will be the zero emission company or industries. Okay, for that they are planning or and they are achieving that with a few steps or so many implementations over the industries. Okay, so The first thing is we have to consider for the sustainable urbanization is the industries should switch into the clean and renewable energy. Okay, and the next one is nothing but we have to provide some proper design or planning measures from the authorities. Okay, simply we can say in the case of nowadays there is a rule like if you are constructing beyond a particular square feet or the area of a building, you have to implement a rain harvesting plan. Okay, so it is a implementation in order to achieve that particular sustainability. Okay, so that must be the point you have to include. Okay, so they won't ask you. Okay, they won't ask you the question paper or the question setter will not be ask you directly how you can. Okay, there will be a question like in an area if there is a Ramu and Ramu is planning to convert his urban area or he is living in an urban area and helping by giving few ideas about how you can change that urban area into a sustainable one. Okay, this must be the question, or the pattern of the question must be like this. Okay, so altogether you have to understand these things and you have to add all these points to this. Okay, so don't ever think about any direct questions. Okay, regarding this is like they can ask from anywhere first of all. So you have to add all these points. Instead of that, if you are writing due to the man due to the depletion or the over usage of resources like that, you will be getting mark. But if the question is for 10, you will be getting like 4 or 5 marks. Okay, so you have to give the proper terms and you have to explain. Okay, and the next the monitoring and improving the air quality in built environmental cities. Okay, and integration of the four pillars, that is economic development, social development, environment management, and effective urban governance can generate this particular sustainable urbanization. Okay, here the environment management. Yeah, we can. We already discussed the same, right? The waste and the recycle management. Okay, so the energy efficient and low carbon building in the construction sector make cities to reduce the carbon emission. Okay, improved infrastructure between rural areas and urban areas increases rural productivity. Okay, this all points you already know. Okay, so just you can take the screenshot. I will start from here. You already took this, right?
Ah,
If you didn't, just give me a done,
Yes, sir.
done, done,
Yes, sir.
done.
Yes, sir.
and
Okay, this particular diagram is very much important. Okay, it is nothing but it is showing the pillars or the particular dimension of the urban sustainability. Okay, okay, So now we are going to discuss about the sustainable cities. Okay, sustainable cities. So we were discussing about the urbanization. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the sustainable city. Okay, so in your words, how must be a sustainable city does succeed? Can you please tell me? ഹലോ, ഒരു സസ്റ്റൈനബിൾ സിറ്റി എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കണം? ഹലോ, ക്യാൻ യു ഹിയർ?
Sure.
എടാ എന്താടാ ഇത്? നിങ്ങളുടെ എല്ലാ പ്രാവശ്യം നിങ്ങൾ ഒരു 3 പ്രാവശ്യം വിളിച്ചാലേ നിങ്ങൾ എനിക്ക് ഉത്തരം തരൂ. പറ. ലൈക്ക്,
Eco-friendly ആയിട്ട്
yeah, okay, okay, fine. Then I am asking you, in a sustainable city, we can take the one sector, transportation sector. Okay, so how we can attain that particular sustainability in that particular sector?
കാർബൺ എമിഷൻ കുറക്കണം.
Yeah, that is what our aim is. So how we can achieve that particular carbon emission or reduce the carbon emission?
ഇലക്ട്രിക് വെഹിക്കിൾസ്.
Yeah, yeah,
ഇലക്ട്രിക് വെഹിക്കിൾസ്.
electric vehicles. Okay, only electric vehicles.
പബ്ലിക് ട്രാൻസ്പോർട്ടേഷൻ.
Yeah, okay, then we can encourage the cycling and walking, right? Yes.
യെസ് സർ.
Yeah, it is also the best way. Do you know, like so many big industries and so many institutes like NIT Trichy and everything, they will be using cycles inside the campus. Okay, all the students and the faculty will be using. There is so many other, like they can use whether the car also, but most of them will be using the cycles. Okay, so through that we can reduce the emission, right? Do
ആ
you understand? Okay. So can you please tell me how we can get or attain that sustainability in the power or energy sector?
ആവശ്യത്തിന് ഉപയോഗിക്കാം.
ആവശ്യത്തിന് ഉപയോഗിക്കാം. Or
മറ്റേ സോളാർ പവർ പ്ലാന്റ്
yeah,
എല്ലാം പ്രൊമോട്ട് ചെയ്യാം.
yeah, we can promote the solar power plant, or if there is a good area for the wind and everything, we can use that. Okay, right? And as well as we can, for example, if we are considering for the air condition and everything, we can design that particular building by like giving good air ventilations. Okay, and thereby they will be reducing the load for that particular air condition. Through that also we can attain. Okay, so this is a small description or the how we can attain that particular sustainability or sustainable cities. Okay, so they can produce the food from there. Okay, there itself, and the waste we can reduce the waste, water conservation. Okay, water is the one of the big factors we have to consider. Okay, okay, because we all know that we are facing so many scarcities. Okay, and like by this summer also we will, some of we will facing a large quantity of, or the scarcity of water will be there. Okay, because there is so many climate changes and everything occurs. So according to the study, In this summer, it will be that much hot also, and the water scarcity will be more. Okay, so the public transportation. Okay, and the city policies that encourage sustainability. Okay, then the design or city design for ride or walkability. Okay, likewise. Okay, nowadays if you just choose this particular while you are coming to the college, if you are choosing a bicycle ride, it will be difficult, right? Okay, it will be difficult, right? Not about your stamina and everything. I am saying that it is little bit difficult to ride bicycle through our roads. Okay, because we are not giving any consideration for the cycling or the pedestrians also. Okay, but nowadays, can you remember about the Payyambalam beach?
ഒരു കണ്ടക്ട് ചെയ്തല്ലേ
Yeah, tell me once more. അവിടെ എന്താണ് അവിടെ? What was that?
സൈക്ലിങ് മറ്റേ കണ്ണൂർ
Yes, yeah. Actually, they are providing it that right. They are giving so many passage or riding passage. Okay, so actually we are implementing that in these areas like beach and everything. Instead of that, we can promote it. Okay, throughout or the both side of our road and everything. So through that, we will be using cycle. Okay, at the present scenario, sure we will be using because due to the hike in the petrol or the fuel prices and everything, surely we will be using the cycles and everything. So while designing also, we can design this particular, we can take a consideration about these factors also. Okay, after a few years, if you are becoming a engineer, okay, so you can think like that. Okay, if you are working in a institute or like an industry, okay, so you can always think and reach to a conclusion for how you can change that particular industry into a sustainable one. Okay, so at that time you have to think about all this, the how efficiently we can use the renewable energy resources, how we can reduce the water usage, how we can reduce the waste, how we can manage the waste. Okay, how we can change these particular devices or the vehicles into electric. Okay, and green building and this define and the public transportation and everything you can take into the consideration. Okay, here also the question will be like this. Okay, there will not be any direct question like how can you or what must be a sustainable city and everything. It will be little bit like it will show some applicative levels, like as I told, if you are a student and if he is willing to change his town into a sustainable city, how can you help him? Like that the question will be the okay. So every each and every topic is a very very good candidate for a applicated question or application question. Okay, so don't take this particular subject as very, because it is not having any credit means it doesn't, like it will have supplies. Okay, so you have to think about that. So here the sustainable cities work towards an environmentally or socially and economically and healthy habitat for existing population. Okay, just for the sustainable cities work towards, or the main motto of that particular sustainable city is to provide a environmental, social, and economically and a healthy habitat for existing population. Okay, existing population. അവിടെ ഇപ്പം നിലനിൽക്കുന്ന ജനങ്ങൾക്ക് എന്താണ് ഈ പറയുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യാം, ബട്ട് വിത്തൗട്ട് കോംപ്രമൈസിങ് ദ എബിലിറ്റി ഓഫ് ഫ്യൂച്ചർ ജനറേഷൻ for experiencing the same. Okay, നമ്മൾ ഈ സസ്റ്റൈനബിൾ ആയാൽ മാത്രം പോരാ, വി ഹാവ് ടു കൺസിഡർ ദ അപ്കമിങ് ഫ്യൂച്ചർ ഓർ അപ്കമിങ് ജനറേഷൻ. Okay, so this is the main, like what does it means by the sustainable city. Okay, okay. We can continue in the next class. Okay, okay. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Till 9:30, right? Okay.
Uh,
Sorry, sorry. Okay. So the sustainable city enables all its citizens to meet their own needs with the minimal natural resources and live a good quality of life without degrading the existing natural resources or lives of the other people now or in the future. Okay, so this all we can you can define this sustainable city with all these definitions. Okay, so here they are considering about the citizens, okay, or the human beings or the populations, okay, population where you can fulfill your needs with the minimal natural resources or minimal usage of the natural resources, okay, and have a good quality of life, but it don't make any impact over the natural resources or the other or lives of other peoples in present situation as well as in the upcoming future. ഓക്കെ നിങ്ങൾ ഒരു ആസ് എ സിറ്റിസൺ യു ക്യാൻ ലീവ് എ ഗുഡ് അല്ലെ നിങ്ങളുടെ നീഡ്സ് ഒക്കെ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുക ഫുൾഫിൽ ചെയ്യപ്പെടാം ബട്ട് വിത്ത് മിനിമം നാച്ചുറൽ റിസോഴ്സസ് ഓക്കെ മിനിമം നാച്ചുറൽ റിസോഴ്സസ് യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യുക യു ക്യാൻ ഹാവ് എ ഗുഡ് ക്വാളിറ്റി ഓഫ് ലൈഫ് okay and but at the same time you have to consider the natural resources, that means you cannot degrade that particular natural resources for fulfilling your needs. Also you cannot have an impact on others or other people also or life of others also, okay, in the present situation or not in the futures, okay. And to ensure the sustainable development, sustainable cities should have environmental friendly, resource efficiently, social harmonious, and economically productive. Okay, these all the factors you have to add on. ഇതെല്ലാം point എല്ലാം it will be very familiar with you, I think, if you are well enough to understand everything, social productivity, economic productivity, and everything. Okay, so we already discussed this. So now we are going to discuss about the basic features of a sustainable city. What are the basic features of a sustainable city? Okay, so you can actually it will be 9 points will be there. Okay, so uh, we can discuss each. So should be harmony with nature. Okay, the first point is should be harmony with the nature. Okay, and the second one is the more natural open spaces. Okay, we can provide more natural open spaces. Okay, and the third one is the predominant transport mode by walking, cycling, and green public transport. Okay, so this must be the basic factors or the features of the sustainable cities. Okay, you can take a screenshot of this. If done, please tell me. ഇത് സ്ക്രീൻഷോട്ട് എടുക്കണം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇതെല്ലാം നോട്ടിലും കാണണം കേട്ടോ. Once if you are get an instruction to submit your note, you have to provide all this. Okay, done.
So,
so
Yeah. So next one is the fourth point is minimize the required input such as water, energy, and other resources. We already discussed that. How and like we have to reduce the input resources. Okay, by you can reuse that or we can recycle uh, or the energy. In the case of the energy, you can use the renewable energy resources and everything. Okay, so we can you have to minimize the input resources. Okay, in the case of water we already discussed, in the energy also we already discussed, in we can implement or impart the solar as well as the wind, and you can through that you can achieve that particular minimization. Okay, and the conservation of existing water bodies. uh, the conservation of existing water bodies, rainwater harvesting, waste water use, etc. Okay, okay, we can provide the rainwater harvesting system and the wastewater reuse. Okay, ഈ wastewater reuse എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ you have to think നമുക്ക് അതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഇപ്പം if the particular water is highly polluted, we cannot give more and more water treatment and everything also. Okay, അപ്പം ഒരു ലെസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള വാട്ടർ അല്ലെ, ഒരു ലെസ് പൊല്യൂട്ടഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള വാട്ടർ വി ക്യാൻ യൂസ് ദാറ്റ് ഫോർ ഇൻ ദ കേസ് ഓഫ് വി ക്യാൻ ട്രീറ്റ് ദാറ്റ് ആൻഡ് വി ക്യാൻ യൂസ് ഫോർ ദ ഗാർഡനിങ് പർപ്പസ് ആൻഡ് എവരിത്തിങ്. Okay, and the next one is to maximize the recovery, reuse, and the recycling of waste material. Okay, we already know that. Okay, no need to explain that particular thing. Okay, we through like maximum the recovery and the reuse and the recycle of the waste material. Actually, here the concept is the zero waste concept. Okay, we can utilization of the byproduct. Okay, you can add or you can say like that also. Okay, utilization of the byproduct. Okay, actually this particular utilization of the byproduct or the recovery or the reuse and recycle water, it maybe it will be paving the way for the less or the less usage of the input resources. Okay, and the maximum usage of that particular അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്താ ഈ ഒരു good ഒരു if the value of the a particular good is using very much അല്ലെ, നമ്മൾ അതിനെ മാക്സിമം യൂട്ടിലൈസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, വി ആർ ഡിസ്പോസിങ്. Okay, and the seventh one is tap more renewable energy resources by using more energy resources. Okay, okay. Then the eighth point is the maintenance of law and order, reduce the crime rate, which makes people in the cities to live in a social harmony. Okay, you all, nothing but by implementing laws and everything. Okay, for this we can add an example about the Dubai. Okay, Dubai or UAE, wherever it may be, but the best one is UAE. Okay, and the last point is the improved waste management with the sustainable technologies. Okay, understood.
So,
Okay, so you can take this screenshot of this. I think you take this. You can take this. Done. Done.
so
Yeah. Okay.